on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Well, folks, today is another brewery takeover. Barrier Brewing Company was established in Oceanside, New York. Oh, lovely place. In 2009. Please give us today's lineup.
These are the 5 that we will be sampling from Barrier Brewing. Their Money IPA, their Kolsch, their Crowning Achievement Imperial Stout with maple syrup, their Rotational
Yeah. It's a word.
Pilsner with Saphir hops, or Saphir, and then King Premium Lager. And if time permits, we may have a bonus beer or two. I hope we do.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hello again, and welcome to another Suds segment where we like you. Yeah, you. We think you're great, but not as great as beer. But then who is, right? I'm one of your hosts, good old Gal Juliana, and joining me today at the table is good old Boy Kendall.
Hello, Juliana. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for asking. I'm great.
Good. So am I. I'm looking forward to today.
Yes. Reverend Mark. Hello.
Good afternoon. So good to be with you, with all of you.
And might I say, that is a very fine tropical attire you are wearing.
Oh.
Needs one of those straw hats.
He does.
And speaking of attire,
Oh, my.
Yeah. I thought the mayor had stopped by or something for a minute. I was like,
Okay.
It is
I
campaign
would-
season.
yeah.
I was
Or the ice
thinking,
cream vendor.
Good old Boy Sparky. Hello.
Hi, how's it going? Do I win the award for the best dressed for a radio show?
Oh, heck yes. Heck yes.
Definitely the best dressed anyone has ever been on this.
Yes.
Ever.
In 10 years.
Like ever.
Not that
Yes.
the bar was ever set that high, but you raised it very.
Yes. Yes. Very, very
I mean, my
much.
pants have a drawstring. So.
I'm not even wearing pants.
Well, not only do my pocket square and necktie match, I
They
have
do.
matching underbreeches for the same pattern.
Nice.
It's true.
When I hear the expression, I'm just a country lawyer, I think of that's
Just a simple country lawyer.
I could easily see Sparky with that exact same outfit except with shorts.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't beat a seersucker suit with shorts.
Yeah. That's
Business up top, party down below.
that's right.
I'm
ready.
thinking frat party gone wild.
That's right.
Good old Boy Dave. Hi.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
You dressed up too.
God, yeah, I got stuff. I wore a shirt today.
wow. We are so proud.
I might have even put on deodorant.
No.
Who wants to check? Who wants a free sniff?
That's the palate cleanser, actually.
It might be. Well, folks, today is another brewery takeover. Barrier Brewing Company was established in Oceanside, New York. Oh, lovely place. In 2009. Good old Boy Dave, why don't you hit us with a bit of their history?
Okay, well, their website was kind of crappy and didn't have any info, but They did put some info. Well, so I even emailed them to try to get some info, which I never do.
Why are you asking?
And we'll never do it. Yeah, that's what they were like. Who wants to know? Okay. Here's what
Mind
they
your
put
business.
on Untapped. Barrier Brewing was founded in 2009 by Evan Klein, and operation commenced on a 1-barrel system in a 1,000 square foot warehouse. The focus was to produce world-class examples of a wide range of styles, a formula which still rings true to this day. We'll be the judge of that, Evan. Even though it was small, the brewery cranked out 600 barrels of beer in the first year,
Wow.
servicing
That's insane.
accounts throughout Long Island, New York City, and upstate New York. June 2012 brought Barrier into a new location and a bigger operation. 5-barrel brew house, capacity of producing 4 million barrels per year, or 4,000. Their Superstorm Sandy made landfall in October and shut Barrier down for 4 months. These were very hard times, but at no point was there a thought to give up. Through fortitude and the local brewing community banding together, we were able to get back to making beer in February of 2013. Fast forward to 2018, Barrier now operates on a 3-vessel, 20-barrel brewhouse capable of producing 9,000 barrels a year. Our beers are currently available in draft, cans, and bottles, and are sold throughout New York State.
And maybe a little push into PA.
Yeah. Spring forward to 2023, you can get beer shipped to a few states outside of New York,
Yes. Thank God.
but not Tennessee. Because why would we want out-of-state beer
man.
shipped here?
No.
That'd be stupid.
But you
Yeah.
know what? Tennessean is tenable even.
Reverend Mark,
I don't even know where to go with that.
please give us today's lineup.
These are the 5 that we will be sampling from Barrier Brewing. Their Money IPA, their Kolsch, their Crowning Achievement Imperial Stout with maple syrup, their Rotational
Yeah. That's a word.
Pilsner with Saphir hops, or Saphir, and then King Premium Lager. And if time permits, we may have a bonus beer or two. I hope we do.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend Mark. Beautiful as always. Go to Boy Sparky. Why don't you give us the SUDS ratings and, if you want to throw in a little seersucker.
Well, I may be just a humble country lawyer. I'm not familiar with your big city lawyer ways, but we will be discussing and rating these beers with these SUDS ratings, plus our signature belching sounds. Here are those ratings now. 1. That sucks. Give me anything but a bud. 2. I do declare, was that a belch? 3. Ah, what a relief. 4. I say, a body should really not be making that sound. And 5, listen to that hang time. Give me another.
You know, it's funny is right as you were going to telling him to do that, I was about to say, hey, put some Long Island on it. But
Oh, yeah, that would have been more appropriate.
I think going with the seersucker Southern Gentleman, I think that was the
Yeah.
I think that was the way to go.
Well, we are a Southern
We
podcast.
are. I know. Even though some of us have had the accent beaten out of us.
And what does Long Island sound like?
I've got a friend from there, and you don't say Long Island. You say LAWNGUYLAND, Long Island. And you don't, when you're going to a different floor, you take the stairs. And when you're concerned about somebody, you're worried. I was worried about you because you're
Got
going to
it.
take the stairs.
Nice. Cool. So we got some. There we go. We got a little
Yeah.
bit.
Sorry,
Snuck
Long
a little
Island.
bit in. Yeah.
We stuck a little culture on you guys.
We did.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's get to the beers. What intrigued me about Barrier is, and thinking Barrier, New York, sure, there's going to be a lot of IPAs, a lot of hoppy IPAs, maybe New England IPAs, right? But then I saw other styles and I was like, yes. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is the Kolsch. 4.8% ABV. It's a modern day interpretation of a classic style. Slight cracker, bready malt profile balanced with German noble hops. And fermented cold for maximum crushability. To me, when a Kolsch is done right, I could drink it all day long. And I get excited when I see a Kolsch on a menu.
I have one of those Kolsch serving tray things with all the glasses, and I'm always desperate to I need 8 people to come over here, or I'll just drink 8 beers from this platter.
Why not?
I wish we had a brewery locally doing Kolsch service. I know it's really trendy in other parts of the country. I know, and Blackberry Farm does it on first Sunday of the month, but I'm just not driving over 3 hours to drink Kolsch.
No.
Yeah.
Back a whole eternity ago when Blackstone opened, Kolsch was their main.
Really?
Sort of. Yeah, that
I
was.
don't remember that.
They had
Oh,
they had
wow.
about 5 house beers, but Kolsch was back in the mid to late 90s. Was that crossover beer for people.
Right, a great gateway beer.
Oh, nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is in the kind of an ale style version of those German Pilsners or even Helles lagers, just depending on the hop ratio. So it was made to be an easy drinking beer that would compete with those light lagers.
And I feel like we probably got a bigger dip of that because of Schlafly too was all over the place at one point.
Yeah, but back in the beginning of craft beer, when nobody did lagers, this was the lager substitute.
Sure.
And I would
it's-
take this over a cream ale any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on the cream ale.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's fair. And they are nice enough on the can, so I was pronouncing this wrong. It is Kolsch.
Kolsch.
It is not
I see what they did there.
Kolsch. Yeah.
Since it was cool lagered.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
It was originating in the Cologne region of Germany and younger
That
than
place smells
most
great.
German styles,
Yeah.
coming into existence in 1918.
This is considered like a hybrid beer in that it's top fermented, but still at a colder temperature. So
So what do we think of the Kolsch?
Tasty.
Yeah, it is. Would you say it's got some of the bready characteristics?
For sure. It's great on the nose too. Just
But it's got enough hops to balance it out. Those little hints of those nice herbal German hops.
Yeah. I think it's quite classy for what it is, and it's decent.
I like how it finishes. It's got a
Yeah.
nice
yeah,
kinda-
big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's clean. It's really there's not.
It's here, then it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. And great for the summer. Well, we are going to rate this Kolsch a 4.
What?
Good start so far, don't you think?
Way to go, Barry.
They could build
Yeah.
a website as good as they can brew a Kolsch.
Well, we'll be back
Sorry.
with more Barrier in just a minute.
Still bitter.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to, how do I say it? Long Island,
Long Island, New
Ooh,
York.
we should do a Long Island iced tea show.
It'd be pretty
It
short.
lasted 17 minutes. Involved
The
resuscitation.
last 10 minutes of the show were just.
I've already had a problem
I
with
love
you
you
people. Now
guys.
you're going to hear it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Reverend Mark, get off the floor.
That would bring back memories.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, that
that
was
was
like
the
the
quickest
first
way from point A to point B.
Oh, it was.
yeah,
Well, we've only got 5 minutes. We better get Long
back
Island.
in the early 80s, I went to TGI Fridays. Had never had
Yes.
one, and it was like a 2-for-1. It was a happy
Oh,
hour.
geez, yeah.
And I ordered a Long Island tea, and I got 2.
They
of
bring you
course.
both at once.
And it
yeah.
was such a good thing that my wife was driving that afternoon.
Yeah. When you can't feel your molars after
Yeah,
90
right,
seconds and you realize that you're in big trouble.
Reverend Mark had his head hanging out the door like a dog on the way home.
But they said tea.
Yeah, and it was served in a big tea glass.
It's so much alcohol.
It really is a bad choice.
Very bad decision.
Like, just order a case of whiskey and
And be done with it. Okay, well, for us, we're not going to do Long Island iced teas. But
Today.
we are going to talk about some beer from Barrier in Oceanside, New York. The second beer that we are going to talk about is the King Premium Lager. This one is 4.7% ABV. Clean, crisp, and easy drinking as they come. Truly a beer of the people. They gave this gem plenty of additional tank time to lager itself to perfection. It's brewed with Bohemian Pilsner malt and hopped exclusively with German noble hop varieties of Hallertau Mittelfruh and Tettnang. Cold fermented in their new house lager strain.
Impressive.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
This is not terrible.
Not at all. You know I love this.
This is so crushable.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Super crushable.
It's a good thing we're having like the hottest days in recorded human history.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
thank you.
A little malt forward. To me, it's basically a Helles. They didn't call it one, but that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that great Bavarian lager that's really driven by the malt flavors.
Yeah. But it finishes like nice, hoppy, kind of bitter finish.
Yeah.
Just enough of a kiss of bitterness to smooth it out.
Just to make you want to go for that next sip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This
Wow.
Kill a
this
few
in
of these.
a burger or something, and you're.
I'm just thinking a giant 1 liter stein of this.
Right?
I don't need no stinking food.
I mean, October.
That's the base.
Yeah.
And something that's this clean and this low ABV, those noble hops just are perfect.
Yeah, they really shine in this. I mean, and it makes you appreciate a really good German beer. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them, or I shouldn't say a lot of them, but some of them that you get that say that they're, German style, you get so much malt that you don't really get to enjoy the hops. And I don't know, to me anyways, German noble hops are, how do I want to say it? They're very nuanced, so you really have to know what to expect out of them, if that makes any sense. You know what I
Totally.
mean? Because they're floral and they're bitter, but they're just
Well, it's
so
not like you're
complex.
making a citrusy IPA where you can just blow it up, and just throw a bunch of hops. You actually have to kind of be balanced in your approach.
Yeah. So it's really nice when you get a beer that showcases them.
I really love the finish of this.
May I
Like
have some
that's
more?
It's very clean.
yeah. And I also like how on the can it says the German series.
We have ways of making you drink.
Serve me lagers und you will drink them.
Wow, it's so good that we're cracking open another one.
Well,
That's a good sign.
we were driven to it.
We may have to linger on this beer for a minute.
Yeah, the hops do have a really big floral note, which is another thing you get out of those German hops.
Yeah.
And sometimes a little spice, even a little pepper,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
there's just very faint there. I think this is more floral driven, but it's still got a good bitterness to it.
I'm going to review my second glass of this now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they don't distribute anywhere close to us, right?
No.
Why would they do that?
That's too bad.
Yeah. And what's so impressive is that it is such low ABV that you would think that you'd be searching for
What is it?
flavor, but 4.7.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But this is maximum flavor.
I think, just a lot of folks just don't know what a pain in the butt it is to, make lagers, pilsners and lagers, and just like what, the artistry that goes into that, because I think we've kind of been broken by the American mainstream beers a lot. But I mean, this is just such a pain to make these and so wonderfully done.
When they're well executed,
yeah, when they're well executed
gorgeous.
like this,
Yeah,
yeah.
You
they're
can't just slam this out in a week.
Right, right. Like
Right.
this. Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of the artistry of simplicity.
That's exactly right.
That's
well
perfect.
said.
Yeah, that is perfectly said. Well, we are going to rate
Yeah.
the King Premium Lager. I know this is a shocker, folks.
Der König.
It is going to be a 5.
Should we have story time while we?
I think it's time for story time.
I'll
with
just go for my third glass
with
for
this
then.
great
these-
beer.
While Kendall's talking,
This,
the rest of us.
but this beer would go great with a pork sausage. And speaking of pork,
Really?
Nice segue. Well played,
Wow.
from metro.co.uk, a woman sells real-life piggy banks made out of taxidermy piglets.
What?
You heard that
Seriously?
right.
Sure.
So a woman has found a way to bring home the bacon by making real-life piggy banks out of baby piglets. Rachel Lewis from Chandler, Arizona, was a hairdresser until 4 years ago when she took up a class in taxidermy, and she has not looked back.
Mm-hmm.
She first had the idea to turn a piglet into a piggy bank about a year ago, but didn't act up on it until last May. A queue of people have pre-ordered the unusual items, and Rachel has promised to make one for her children who fell in love with putting coins inside the little baby pig. She'd always dreamt of being a mortician from a young age and helped her hunter husband clean the skulls of dead animals in the past. This is an interesting lady right here.
I have so many questions right now.
There's so
Wow.
many red flags that are about to go.
Have the lambs stopped screaming, Clarice?
She says taxidermy gives animals a second lease on life, but did acknowledge that young animals' death is sad. It's really labor intensive making a traditional foam form. It had to be altered, cut in half, hollowed out, and the insides finished. A little too much detail there.
Yeah.
But she said a little piggy bank would be cute to do, and she had to figure out how to make it hold the weight of the change, but she's planning on doing more.
Just
Maybe
be glad
some.
you guys didn't see the pictures that were in the
Oh,
article.
I've got to find these.
Does she run the Bates Motel in her part time?
I don't know, but she's selling these things for $350, and they're going pretty well. So she gets her specimens, if you're wondering, from local farms who have pigs and goats. A lot of them are born stillborn. Did not know that.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of these are baby pigs who were born stillborn who would have been disposed of in other ways. Now she's turning them into fun and useful piggy banks.
Other ways.
Can our next episode be brain bleach so I can unhear the story? I assume these aren't kosher, right?
Absolutely not. Well, she has some ideas to do piggy banks made of baby goats next. So I guess that would be a goatee bank. I don't know. But she wants to come up with other ways to make little hidden compartments in her taxidermies. It's like stash jars and jewelry boxes. So if you ever wanted to keep your unmentionable items in a stash jar made out of a baby pig, she can help you out.
Well, if people are going to
Yeah.
reach inside a baby pig to get your valuables, I don't think a stash thing is going to help.
But she finished up by saying, we definitely have a few things we're working on now. So I
The
cannot
R&D
imagine.
department. Yeah,
I can't wait for the next product line to come out.
Wow.
I think she can do full-size animal taxidermy luggage. You know,
Yeah.
carry your stuff in a dead dog or something. Why not?
Could make you some hush puppies.
Ah.
That was so many questions.
You know what that sounded like? You know, like on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, where they tell like the fake news stories? That just seems like
Like
it was
one of the fake
one of the
ones.
fake
Yeah.
news stories.
Yeah,
I
that would be
mean,
fake news,
yeah.
except it's not.
It's not. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
should see where they put the stopper, you know, like to let the coins come out. Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
I think she needs to franchise this with like veterinarians. And so the concept is no matter what, your pet always comes back home with you.
Wow.
I've actually heard of people doing that, Rev Mark. Of
Oh yeah, people get
taking
their
their
pets taxidermy.
beloved puppy to the taxidermist
I used to-
so they could keep it forever.
I used to work with
God,
a
that's
guy who
weird.
That's super weird.
his hobby or side gig was taxidermy, and like he would like if hunters, you know, a lot of times they want a deer head mounted, or I think he was doing a bear at one point for somebody. Like
Wow.
it's just I don't know what the smell.
I mean,
Good Lord.
has anybody ever like thought about maybe the New York Times crossword puzzle instead? Like, I feel like there's other
How
things.
about
that you-
gardening?
yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. You could grow some tomatoes.
Yeah.
You know?
And not turn them into. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like an odd hobby.
Yeah.
I've got lots of questions.
Let's do things with dead piglets. Yeah. That's cool. Wonder
Well,
what-
we had a bunch laying around, so.
yeah. You
Why
think
not?
the neighbors
Yeah.
let their kids trick or treat at her house? Timmy, do you want to go for a sleepover at the
Well, I'm just
the neighbor's
wondering
house? No, mommy.
at Halloween, what's her candy mold made out of?
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she must throw the best Halloween parties.
It's a rager. Jeez.
There's a lot of kids in therapy in Arizona right now that probably.
I just feel like that's a conversation starter. So tell them what you've been doing. Well, I've been making baby piggy purses.
Yeah.
Record scratch. Check, please.
Yeah. Hey, what's that smell? Are you making ham? Well, not exactly.
Yeah. It was a hot day that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, let's get back to the beer.
Yes, please.
The next one that we are going to try from Barrier is the Rotationer Pilsner with Saphir hops.
I love this concept.
And
Yeah.
Pilsner goes great with sausage too.
Yeah, it does.
Really does.
Yeah,
It's
does.
a sausage party.
Well, they have a rotating single hop series with their Pilsner, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
This one is featuring Saphir. It's a German hop that has a blend of spice, floral, and fruitiness. We think this hop is a perfect addition to our clean, crisp, bright, easy drinking Pilsner. 4.7% ABV.
It's an incredible,
Totally get the floral.
Yeah.
incredibly pale
huge
beer.
Floral.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I'm getting a little bit of citrus fruitiness, which you don't usually get out of German hops, but
Yeah.
I'm digging that.
And on the nose, I'm getting a little mint.
Yeah, there is some.
Well, and
mint in it.
Pilsner is a great way, and we've talked about this kind of thing before. I think Four Hands out of St. Louis, they do a similar Pilsner series. And if you're gonna do single hop beers, I think Pilsner is a great way to do it because it's just mostly that Pilsen malt. So you're really just a blank palette for the hops
To showcase. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like really getting, and it's not a bad thing. Like I'm really just getting the floral piece like crazy on the palate. About 2/3.
It's a pleasant hop. You know,
Very nice. I think you're right, Rev Mark. I think the bitterness is coming off as a little minty too.
I get that. Yeah.
But I'm not mad about it.
No.
I
not at all.
this.
No, officer, I've been drinking beer. Can't you smell how minty my breath is? Come on.
So far, these are all great middle of the summer
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
coolers.
Yeah, like perfect for this weather. But even in general, I mean, these are elevated everyday beers, if you will. You know what I mean?
Table beer.
Table beer. Yeah.
Table beer, yes.
You know what's also going to be really refreshing? The 12% Imperial Stout with maple syrup. I'm sure that's going to be
Bring out-
That's been
quench that
warming up.
thirst. Yeah.
Pressure.
Bring out the pancakes.
We have an extra can in case Kendall wants to shotgun it.
I have a shotgun tool on my keychain.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I have another can if you both want to shotgun it.
Let's go, baby. only if we get it.
Not a stout.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
not
I don't
a
want.
stout.
Well, I don't want Sparky getting it all over his suit.
Yes, that
Challenge
would be bad
accepted.
against the seersucker, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think as far as pilsners go in general, I think this is a good, solid example. And then Sapphire hops, like, you know, Barrique did a version with Sapphire that I really liked,
Yeah.
and I think this is a really good hop to use. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
How do you guys like this? Just if we didn't talk about it being a single hop beer, but just as a pilsner,
In general.
if we were just saying this was a pilsner, how would you feel about it?
I like it. You could tell that it was a little crisper than that Bavarian lager we just had. A little less malt. That probably just all, like you said, Dave, all Pilsner malt probably in this thing. Whereas the other one probably had maybe a little Vienna, maybe even a little Munich in there.
Yeah.
This thing is just clear and clean and easy drinking.
Straight to the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I'd say fully attenuated.
Yeah. Cool.
Very dry, crisp finish.
What do you guys want to rate this? We are going to rate it a 4.
That is a tasty beverage.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Well, next up, we are going to go with some money.
And it's cool that we're 4 beers in and we're actually trying the first IPA. You know,
That is
Yeah.
really nice, man.
Yeah.
My palate was getting,
Now,
It's a little rough. It gets a little rough sometimes.
Yeah,
you
it
know, some of
does.
these.
It does.
different context completely. This one is not clear at all. 7.3% ABV. So this is a perfect example of East Coast meets West Coast IPA. Dry hop with Citra, Azacca, Centennial, and Simcoe. So it's citrusy, dank, and pine resininess. It's the beer that put Barrier on the map.
No kidding. Well, it's super dank on the nose. My
Yes,
goodness.
it is.
I'm getting a lot of citrus, like orange, tangerine, grapefruit.
Yeah.
What was that old? Do you guys remember that citrus is probably all artificial? 5 Alive, that old citrus
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
That's what it just reminded me of.
Ooh, that is nice. A lot of citrus in the flavor too.
Wow,
But
yeah.
that's where I start getting the pininess comes across in the bitterness.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't taste like it smells. Exactly.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's resiny on the palate.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I guess is that what they're the East Coast meets West Coast, but I don't know. I don't really get the East Coast part of it because it
Maybe
Well,
just
mostly
cloudiness.
the cloudiness. I think
Yeah.
just
yeah.
And it's a little creamier than
Yeah.
a West Coast
it
would be.
is creamy.
There you yeah.
It's
there
got
you
that
go.
hazy mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really,
not,
really soft.
not like a lactose bomb or anything like that, but just really kind of.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just taking it in because
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it because I love the pininess, like, you know, in the base, so to speak, like in the background.
Is the haziness and I know I'm kind of mincing words here, but is that more East Coast or is it NEPA though?
I mean, I think it's. I just affiliate. I mean, now we're all broken, right? I feel like that's just East Coast as a rule, right?
I always
Or no?
felt like a true East Coast IPA though was almost like an English IPA,
Yeah,
but just a
back in
little
the day.
more,
It
a little more
was,
hop
yeah.
forward.
Yep.
You know,
I think those beers have pretty much died.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anyone even make them?
I know
anymore?
that's kind of what you're saying. That's what I was kind of like. Yeah, I mean, like there was a time when that was what we knew, but now,
Like Brooklyn IPA, I think was a good example.
wow, yeah,
Yeah.
Almost like a British
Jeez.
IPA. Very
Okay.
different from what was coming out of California
Okay.
and the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've seen Brooklyn IPA in ages.
Oh gosh.
Brooklyn. Period.
Oh yeah.
Womp
I mean, yeah. I don't know if they're around here at all. Well, we'll be back with more musings on Barrier in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. So today we're doing a brewery takeover of Barrier Brewing.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
But what if I am that guy?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
All right, fine. What we've been talking about is a takeover from Barrier Brewing in Oceanside, New York.
Oceanside.
You've been looking at the can art on money, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
There's a lot of bling on
there's
there.
a lot of bling on the can art. It's very golden.
Wow.
What we have been talking about right before the break was Money, their IPA, 7.3% ABV. And so we were talking about what an East Coast IPA,
Used to be
Used to
long
be.
ago in the before times.
Yeah.
and now I guess a New England IPA is classified is an East
Is an
Coast
East Coast
IPA.
IPA.
Yeah.
I think it's become that.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe,
right.
right? And this is a cross between East and West.
And I'm glad, those East Coast, West Coast IPA wars are over. Because
You're gonna go there.
there's a lot of people were getting hurt, a lot of bad feelings, a lot of bad energy going there, and
Biggie and Tupac.
yeah, dude,
But
pour one out.
These are my favorite kind of hazies. The ones that still have bitterness. They've got
Yeah.
the resin.
Yeah.
They've got everything I want in an IPA, but I like the mouthfeel of a hazy. I
Yeah.
just don't like it when they're really sweet
I hate
or
the
have
sweetness.
nothing
Yep.
that reminds
Nope.
me of hops.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way, Kendall, and it's just a big turnoff to me. I mean, I like to kind of the challenge of the, that.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't want an alcoholic orange Julius.
Oh my God! Exactly.
Well, those have their place.
Except that I love Emperor Julius.
Well, but
Anyways.
like there was a time there where we were all like, "Dadgum, man, this is really good," and because it had its moment, but it's nice to see things balance out a little bit,
And I'm really enjoying this because the East Coast, for a while, it was all I could get. Loved that juiciness, the orange juice.
Juice bomb.
But now, right, exactly. Hey, Sloop. But now I'm like swinging back to West Coast.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I guess I'm not ready for like the old green flash every day, which believe me, in its day, I
like
freaking
the
love that
inside
beer.
of my mouth is burning.
But
Yeah.
even West Coast has evolved. I mean, I was just in San Diego, and they're lighter. Those big, almost the caramel malt bombs that were super hopped are
big malty
disappearing.
backbone.
These
Yeah.
were really light, easy drinking IPAs, but still had a huge bitter punch.
I bet you in 20 years those are going to come back around though.
Oh, sure.
I think of the flagship IPA that Firestone Walker still puts out. I mean, to me, that's still kind of a baseline West Coast.
Do you know what would be great with this beer? Is some good Indian food. Like I would
You
love
could soak up some of that heat.
Yeah. Cut right through it with the
Yeah, no, wow, I'm
tikka
getting hungry
masala.
now.
I know.
Damn. But I'm really enjoying the balance with money.
Yes,
and
very
how
balanced.
I'm getting my pine.
I love money. Okay,
And
I'm going to tell you right now, I love money.
Big fan.
Okay, and I'm not ashamed
fan of money.
that I
Big
love
fan of
money. All right, I want more money.
Okay.
I like
Cool.
money.
If
Okay.
good old boy Mike is listening, Mike, we all want more money.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get them to send more money.
Please.
Or just send us to Long Island.
Long Island. I like this. We'll take care of the rest. Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what will we rate the money?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna rate this puppy a 4.
That was not what I was expecting. I mean, I just wasn't. I was kind of worried it was going to be like the sweet kind of standard.
Yeah.
It was really, really refreshingly.
Just
pleased
throw a
with it.
bunch of hops and maybe a little malt and
Yeah, and right.
Right.
Okay, so let's do a bonus beer.
Yes.
Yes. And what you guys have in front of you is called Core. It is a, just as the label states, it's tropical, hazy, juicy, beautiful, loaded with more Mosaic than any beer they've ever brewed,
Yes.
plus an additional onslaught of Simcoe, Centennial, and Bru-1. Straight up grown folks juice. Fruity pebbles, bubblegum, citrus, candy, and that sticky, icky finish. And this one is 8.3% ABV.
I never would have realized there's Mosaic. I'm sorry, I can't say that.
There's
with
really
a
not.
straight
Wow.
face.
I'm kind of with you. Yeah.
Anybody want to suck on a Mosaic cone? 'Cause it's so great.
I do.
I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm in for that. Let's go.
This is the first time I've actually smelled like candy in a beer.
Candy sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That didn't have lactose.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of does smell like Fruity Pebbles.
It does, and it also kind of reminds me. Remember, like back when we were kids, like all the Willy Wonka brand candies. Like this is like from the vintage area of like gobstoppers and
Little orange, little tropical.
Yeah.
nerds.
Yeah.
Nerds.
This one's also big and soft too. So
I am too.
Like
actually.
a big soft nerd.
Yeah, that's me.
Softy. Yes.
Sparky, you're the youngest and
Okay,
thinnest.
but
You
in
need to
comparison
shut
to
up right
an
now.
East
Shut up.
Coast, West Coast mashup,
Skinny
with
little-
this just being, a double IPA that's very hazy.
Yeah.
How do you rank this in the,
this feels
know?
purely East Coast. to
Yeah,
me.
this
in
is-
fact, it's so big. I don't know if I could drink a whole 16 ounce, and I definitely wouldn't want to.
I would get a 10-ounce pour if I was at a bar.
Yep.
Yeah, this would mess me up pretty darn quick.
Yeah. This is starting to get into that big, almost sweet. There's not enough
Almost too
bitterness
much.
on it.
Yeah.
But it's a good beer. I just wouldn't want a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
What was it, like 8, 9%?
8.3?
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
This is a meal in a can. Going back to the Wonka stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one we would rate a 3 for the core. But I think it's because it's really
I mean, it's just
It's hardcore.
yeah.
yeah. That's wow. Okay. We got time for another bonus beer quick before the big reveal of the last one. This one is going to be Try the Juice Juicy Pale Ale. 5.6% ABV. So you can expect a soft, pillowy mouthfeel with waves of tropical oranges, mangoes, and melons, combined with a touch of dank and damn. It's a damn good juicy pale.
You know, I just came from synagogue, and that's where I tried the juice.
Wow.
You're going to get the rim shot for that one.
Yeah.
You know what you're gonna get?
Yeah.
Nothing.
So similar in mouthfeel, similar in flavor to the other one, but because it's a smaller beer, less alcohol,
It's not
little
as
lighter,
sweet. It's not as overpowering.
No.
and I like this one better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's something going on, like about 2/3 of the way through in the back
There's
of my
still
palate.
there's still the fruity pebble kind of flavor,
Yeah.
which I actually enjoy, but it's not as
It's not as sweet.
it's
No.
not as, it's not
No.
beating me down.
No.
you know?
It's
No.
a bit sharper.
Yeah. This is I like this.
This
I
is
do
what the
too.
other
Yeah.
one should probably be.
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
Sure.
Or maybe
Which
we
is-
could blend them later.
And
Master blade.
Bro. But okay, so interesting how, we for a while were into those big juicy things, and now we're coming away from it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Now that the numbness is worn off.
Yeah.
is that it? Okay.
Well, but I think
Okay.
part of
Okay.
that too is
right
like,
back.
Right.
that's what
That-
everybody was making.
Yep.
And now
was huge.
so many people are making good lagers and Kolsches and
Well, I mean,
all these different
they're
things.
making more of them.
Well, yeah.
Some of them are good.
Some of them are good, There's more good ones out there,
That's true.
And I think, you have to go through rotations as a person and your palate and everything. And so, there were for a while, all we were drinking and talking about were sours, and it's like,
That's
Oh, yeah.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's
you
a
know?
really good
And
point.
it's like now I honestly, I struggle to drink sours.
yeah, man, I'm
Yeah.
trying to drink down all my sours in my cellar, and there's some of them they're dream pours.
I have
It
to
hurts.
emotionally prepare myself.
Yeah, we're gonna get through this together. Come on, just focus.
Deep breath,
Keep going.
deep
We got
breath.
this.
Yeah. But
Well-
I like this beer a lot. I think this is nice. Oh, Tim's here. Well, little Timmy.
Sorry, we have a little visitor that's just gonna come and sit with
Tiny,
us.
tiny little visitor.
That's not nice.
Okay, so what are we going to rate the Try the Juice Juicy Pale? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. This one is a 4. This one is really nice.
You should try the juice.
Try the juice.
It's really delicious.
He will try the juice.
He'll do what his mother tells him.
That's
Now,
exactly right.
Wow. I'm not his mother. I'm just a big sister.
Oh no!
Big sister.
All right,
Okay.
now it's
Sister.
time, finally.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now we are talking about the crowning achievement. This is an Imperial Stout with maple syrup, 12% ABV.
But I think it's
Did you say there's maple syrup in this?
it's-
That might be wrong.
it's barrel aged maple syrup, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, I wasn't finished.
whoa. Sorry.
Whoa.
Kids.
Sorry, Chief.
You're not that
Kids.
guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay, this is a collab with Decicco's and Crown maple syrup. Crowning achievement is an Imperial Stout brewed with Crown bourbon barrel aged maple syrup.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So there.
You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
What size pour would you get of this, Mark?
Yeah, 5 ounce.
Yeah.
Now, of note, we poured this at the beginning of the episode so we can let it warm up.
Spend plenty of time.
And that was a good idea because I took a taste as soon as we poured it.
Did you?
Where it was still chilly.
Yeah.
And it was almost harsh.
Yeah.
Everything came across you just got the alcohol and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
As it's warmed up, it's mellowed out. It's smooth. It's got a lot smoother. You get a lot more chocolate maple. It's good.
Yeah.
Now it is still
This
burning
is-
my gums, but
Yep.
This would be a good alcoholic breakfast.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it would.
Like,
Some
and you know
waffles
how
with
there
this.
were those beers that were like the maple bacon portery
Yeah,
kind of thing
right.
that were a little
Yeah.
bit too much? This is all I need.
This is
Yeah.
a better take on that.
I would love to try this maple syrup. Honestly,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I just want to make
yeah.
some homemade waffles and then use the maple syrup.
yeah, and
Some butter on there.
yeah.
Ooh.
And then pound a couple of these.
Yeah, do a
Then go back to bed.
I can see doing a reduction on this.
Oh, damn.
Oh my.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Yeah, going back to bed is the right answer. Yeah. And then waking up for second breakfast,
Yeah,
which would be
right.
savory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slightly. Okay,
Slight-
then you could add the bacon.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a bad Jew.
And if you don't like it, you can at least use it later to seal your asphalt with.
That's
Yeah.
true. It's multi-purpose. That's a good point.
you kind of use this as lip balm because it
can.
just sort of sticks.
Well, it is very
It is
sticky.
super sticky. I mean,
It is.
I feel like if this was in glass and we like just tried to look at the legs, it would sit there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Coming down.
Yeah, this
The
is
sides.
there's a lot going on here. However,
It has
I think-
longer legs than a Swedish volleyball player. Yeah.
I just had like a perfect image of that. That was an incredible analogy. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for just adding value.
wow.
It took me 48 minutes into the show, but
You got there.
got there.
You got there.
And we're done. No, I'm just kidding.
That was my last contribution.
I think that all that's lacking is that we're not having like a major winter blizzard coming
Yeah,
through.
to
Right?
go with this.
Yeah, if it was not 103-degree real feel, this
Sure.
would be great.
Sure. Okay, that's fair that this may be a little out of season.
Oh, but I'd hang on to
Technically-
it until.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This will
This
keep.
is gorgeous.
Yep.
You could cellar this beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is only going to get better over time.
Yeah. More mellow.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of booze in that.
Okay, yes, it's a lot of booze, but once it like warms and like that
Oh, it
the
mellows
thick
out.
Yeah.
alcohol, yeah, it does.
sure.
I mean, in terms of like these crazy stouts,
Yeah.
this is nice, and I
It's-
don't feel
yeah.
a lot of lactose slip to it.
It's
Yeah.
not overly complex.
Yeah. You could.
I mean, it's nuanced, but not complex, maybe.
I feel like some of them, it's like, oh, I have this like buffet of flavors. It's like the ice cream store. Like, scoop this, and this is like just very, dialed in, and you really just it makes the maple shine.
Yeah, yeah. So, what are we going to rate this beer? Yeah. Okay. So, the crowning achievement, Imperial Stout with maple syrup, we are going to rate a 4.
Would be 4.5 if you had waffles. I'm just
Okay, that's
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 fair.
That's fair. Okay, so looking at this brewery overall, since we have a minute or two left, I like the diversity. I know that sounds
yeah.
like cheesy, but
no.
If this
We
was
celebrate.
your,
Variety.
yeah,
right.
We
No.
celebrate diversity.
if this was your neighborhood brewery, I mean, that would be a pretty cool neighborhood
A lot
to be
to
in.
choose from.
Yeah.
But I would gravitate there all the more because they're kind of disproportionately, in a good way,
Yeah.
The classics.
lagers and pilsners.
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean, if they knew how to build a website or respond to emails, I think they would be the perfect brewery.
Wow,
But
man.
I know, I'm still
No,
bitter.
no. I get the
Okay.
same
Still
way,
bitter.
man.
Still bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you try like a phone with a telegraph, like maybe that's like how it
Maybe I
works in
should
Long
have.
Island.
Maybe, yeah.
Long
Did you have
Island.
did you have to dial in on this one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Next time,
yeah. I used my AOL account.
Wow. Okay.
Hotmail.
Well, I think this was a solid episode, and really happy that we tried these beers.
I'm glad there were
Very
no
good.
barriers to us doing this episode.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know what?
Well, that's going to wrap it up for
Yeah.
today. Good old Boy Kendall, thank you so much for being here.
It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed these beers.
Yes. Please tell us about your blog and all the coolness that you're doing this year.
For 2023, my beautiful wife and I are visiting every brewery in the state of Tennessee. You can follow us at bm3.beer.
Thank you.
Every
Wow.
brewery?
Every.
All but one.
Wow.
Rev Mark, thank you so much for being here today.
It's always a pleasure.
Good old Boy Sparky.
Well, I may be just a humble
Country
country
lawyer.
lawyer, and I'm not familiar with your big city
His name is-
radio show ways.
his
but
name
thank
is-
you for having me.
His name is
It's a
Atticus.
pleasure.
Good old boy Dave.
I like this.
This is good old Gal Juliana. Keep on chuggling, and we'll catch you next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
Tap it in.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip Suds and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands
Millions and millions.
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip Suds and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.